Welcome back to the beginner's course for consultants. So in previous lessons I explained you how to find the niche for your consultancy and also how to find the know-how and tools for working as a consultant. So in today's lesson I'll explain how to use these inputs to create attractive consulting packages that you can offer to your clients. So I'll explain you what does this packaging of consulting services mean, and I'll also show you several examples of one-time consulting services that you can offer to your clients, but also continuous consulting services that your clients might need. I'll also explain you how you can digitize or productize your services and how to structure your consulting packages so that they make the most sense both for you and for your clients. And finally, I'll explain how to communicate the value of your consulting services because otherwise clients will not be buying any of these. So packaging consulting services basically means that you define exactly what is the scope and the duration of what you are offering to your clients. For example, you say that you are going to help them implement ISO 27001 and lead them towards ISO 27000 certification. And that kind of an offering is much more powerful and easy to sell rather than saying that you're going to charge them per hour or per day without them knowing exactly what is the outcome or what is the final cost. And this is why packaging of your services is crucial if you want to be successful as a consultant. So let's see what kind of packages you could offer. Basically, there is a difference between one-time projects and, let's say, continuous projects, which you can also define as packages. So as a one-time project, you could have, let's say, doing a gap analysis, for example, ISO 14001, where you can help a company find out exactly how far or how close they are to being compliant with this environmental standard. Or you can offer an implementation project, like I mentioned, for ISO 27001 compliance, so that you take the clients towards the certification. Or you could do a project with a smaller scope, for example, only doing a risk assessment, for example, for a NIS2 project. You can do also some initial training projects for your clients where you raise their level of competency, or for example, let's say ISO 9001. Or you can simply help companies get prepared for the certification after they already implemented the standard, doing some kind of pre-audit check or something similar to this. And all of these were examples of one-time projects, basically the projects that are not recurring with the same client. As opposed to this, you can actually develop different types of services where you offer continuous service to your clients. For example, you can actually act as a person who is maintaining their management system, like ISMS for ISO 27001. You can do internal audits for them, no matter which kind of framework they're complying with. You can do so-called second-party audits or audits of their suppliers, which is especially important for frameworks like DORA and NIS2. You can continuously deliver them these security awareness trainings so that all employees are aware of cybersecurity and their role. And lately there is also this very popular service called vCISO, meaning a virtual Chief Information Security Officer, where you actually act as a security manager on continuous basis for a particular company that does not have enough resources to hire a full-time person for that kind of job. And I covered this topic of continuous consulting services in another lesson in my advanced course for consultants. You can go a step further and digitize your offering, where you, for example, record your training sessions on a training platform and then deliver these lessons to your clients so that you do not have to work for it every time this is done automatically. Now, how do you structure your packages? First, you have to define clear deliverables. Let's say that you're doing a NIS2 compliance project for your clients. Then you define that you're going to take your client through all the steps in the implementation, that you're also going to write a first draft of all the documents, that you're going to do all the analysis, including risk analysis, and also that you're going to do initial training. But you also have to define the scope and the boundaries clearly, so that you can say, okay, I'm going to create the first draft of the documents for you, but anything else on top of this will have to be done by your team. And also, let's say when doing the risk assessment, you can actually suggest what are the threats and vulnerabilities, but they have to make decisions on the level of impact and likelihood, because this is something a consultant should not be doing. And then you should estimate the amount of time that is needed for your project, and you should do it realistically and always try to add some additional time as a reserve, let's say 20%, so that you're not losing revenue if something unexpectedly happens. And believe me, very often something unexpectedly will happen with almost every client. And finally, you have to decide on the price that you're charging or quoting to your clients, and this is something that I'll explain in the next lesson. And when you communicate the value of your consulting packages towards your potential clients, you should not use technical terms, like backups or I don't know, firewalls, nor you should use, terms like, okay, I'll help you implement 93 controls or something like this. Rather, you should focus on the business benefits that they will achieve. Again, this benefit could be that they will get certified against ISO 27001, or that they will get compliant with NIS2 and local legislation. So it's crucial actually to use this business language when explaining these benefits, and also to use simple language that everyone can understand. So don't create too complex or hard to understand offerings. Okay, I hope this was helpful, and let me know in the comments below if you have any questions around how to package your consulting services, and I'll answer as quick as I can. And here are a couple of materials that will help you learn more. So first of all, we have this advanced course for consultants where you can learn more advanced techniques. And as I mentioned, there is this lesson that explains how to create these ongoing services that you can actually offer to your clients. Second, you can check out my podcast called Secure and Simple, where I interview successful consultants, where you can learn from them how they actually package their services and what makes them successful. Also, if you want to digitize your services or trainings, you can check out Advisera's company training academy, which enables you actually to upload your own materials and then distribute them to your clients in a very easy way. And my next lesson in this beginner's course will be about how to price your consulting services, and also later on in the course I'll explain how to deliver various types of consulting services. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and you can also subscribe to my YouTube channel not to miss any of my new videos, and I publish videos about cybersecurity and compliance every week. Thanks for watching.